If you don't understand this game, you talk about gods and devils and Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and don't even understand the structure of government on the earth, but you're going to tell us on the dark side of the moon? That's contemptuous. There's nobody on this planet that does push carts and foam at the mouth, jump up, down, hallelujah to you, all over the place, telling you when God's going to kick the devil's butt on Friday and everything. Better than us. You understand? And can't tell you nothing about structure of government. That's a disgrace. Do you understand? So when we walk into a courtroom, you're already for sale because you already don't honor your mothers and your fathers. And the issue before humanity on earth in the name of justice is honor and dishonor. And persons coming across the planet, running around talking about human beings are crayons, are in absolute dishonor. And since they won't render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and they walk around doing business in Caesar's names, you daggone right they're supposed to be taxed. Claiming to be somebody that they're not, you daggone right they're supposed to be taxed. Claiming a religion that's not theirs, that's really a political system of Constantine, you doggone right they should be taxed. That's what the Jim Crow laws are for. But they think they're innocent, don't they? Because nobody won't tell them the truth about their history. So when you walk in there, unless you clear up the issue, because status is first all around the world, and you allow them to call you Negro, black, and colored and don't object and correct it, they know you Christian property. Your real estate registered right here in the state of Delaware as Christian property under the 14th Amendment. Artificial person, which they made the corpse, dead in the view of the law, and from the corpse comes corporation. Now, either you're going to come into the human family or you will be a corpse. Make a choice. Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution for the United States of North America declares a republican form of government for every state in this union. Does it not?
Yes.
They're using the democracy system. Have the people contested?
No.
So they lost the republic. Now they're mad because they got feudal law and don't even know what they're dealing with. And they talk about this gray area. If you moving a chessboard, you reaching on the other side of the board, moving the other man's pieces. Well, it's a queen. Well, yeah, but you got the black pieces. Yeah, but it's a queen. He moves the white ones, and you move backwards. You don't start moving the others. You don't understand that? If you don't understand the game, get up. Do you understand? And this is what's really happening with us. We refuse to study the principles of earth science. And this is where a statement might apply. How can you claim to love a God you do not see when you don't love your brothers and sisters whom you see every day?
That's right.
Wow.
Likewise, how can you talk about the so-called metaphysical sciences of the upper world, the upper spiritual, esoteric gnosis and knowledge and get all deep with it and have no concept on how to solve the problems on the earth when there must be a balance?
Yes.
Because man eats not by bread alone. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm saying that to say to you, I comprehend what you mean when you're saying, that little bit of gray area. But the supreme law of the land is the treaty and the Constitution. If you go into it, it'll tell you the rules. And if you let somebody tell you something different, it's because you're not going by the rules. And they're not going by the rules. And if you want to know whether they're right, you measure them by rules. Don't anyone that take a position of authority in government must take an oath on that Constitution and then be bonded. Yes. Therefore, they have a charter and a bond, an indemnity bond, and they go together. Now, if you don't ask for it, that's a waiver of right, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
And it is your duty as a national or citizen to hold them to their bond and to their oath. Now, if you choose not to, meanwhile, and then you walking before them in some name that ain't yours and find yourself on an auction block, which is what our people keep finding, is that racism?
No.
Therefore, we need to correct that, don't we? Don't we?
Yes.
And we need to hold them to their obligation, mustn't we? Those are fundamental protocols that should be comprehended and understood by every last one of us. It's a civic duty, isn't it? And if you see that's absent with us, we have to promote that kind of information so they can become diligently responsible, so that we can stop accusing the civilized world of doing stuff to us when we're out of order, and thinking that we're always victim when we're out of order. Do you understand? And so, if he sees that you're out of order, he will say things like, you know, it's like, you know what you're talking about? And then you keep on running your mouth. Yeah, because McDonald's, I went to McDonald's this morning, got me a Wendy burger, and I want my rights. And after all, he's going to tell you, I think you should shut up while you're here. Let me get a PD embarrassment or someone, because you can't present yourself, so another man going to have to represent you. And this is what happens to us, and they're officers of the court, so therefore you on the auction block, so everybody going to get a piece. It wasn't fair. No, it wasn't intended to be. And if we can get our people out of the emotions, chill out, start studying the rules, we will come together automatically, because that's what creates the unity. Not us being in the same room, us being in the same mind, going in the same direction by the rules of civilization that were set up by our mothers and fathers, that we keep saying is the Europeans' knowledge. That's what's wrong with us. That's why he's governing you, because we refuse to go into the rules. We keep making up stuff. Well, ebonically, I can make that camera be what I want it to be, because I'm metaphysical. This is what we keep doing. And trying to make words mean what they don't mean, just because we're too lazy to study, too cheap to go buy a good book with $200 sneaks on. We're talking about we want to be a surgeon. And you say, well, why don't you get this book on anatomy of the body? Well, religiously, I ain't into that. And this is how we roll. Well, we want to march. See what we want to do. We want to get all the people together, and we want to rally, see? And we're going to go out there, you know, down there where that lot is, and get all the people, all the community get together to protest, talk about our rights. Does anybody in the group know about any constitutional law, international law? We ain't into that Moorish stuff. But we're going to go down there and create a ruckus in the street. Somebody get beat up. We keep violating the law and then playing like we victim. Because constitutions are in place all over the world to secure the rights of the people. It's their duties to enforce it. It doesn't mean you don't have resistance. It is first your duty to enforce it, because they're public servants. Now, if you don't want them to be public servants, they'll have you serving them. Now, that's what's been happening. You understand? In other words, our people want the benefit of government, but not the responsibility to learn the discipline. They want the benefit of science. They don't want to chill out and learn the science because it doesn't come from their mosque, church, or synagogue. Well, they pay the price for their ignorance. That's what it is. Because truth is universal. Like we said from the beginning, 2 and 2 here is 4. 2 and 2 in China, 4. 2 and 2 in Hindustan is 4. 2 and 2 in the bottom of the ocean, 4. You get these people with their believers? Well, according to my sect, it could possibly be 3. Give me a hallelujah. They start that stuff. And then, of course, stuff don't work in the real world. They just don't know the Lord is. And they start that stuff. And this is what's wrong with us. It really is. We keep filling up the void of what is absent with belief systems that have nothing to do with reality because some preacher told us and we never checked it out. So we paying him, paying Rome too. And then accusing everybody of racism. Race is the species of human. The human species broken down into sections politically that are called nations and nationalities. Those are the rules. You want to violate them rules? They got a program for you. It's called the Negro Acts. for people of color, which means artificial persons. It does not mean Afrocentricity of Hotep. Now, these people don't want to deal with the rules, fine. They take up space. They got rules for that too. You understand? Anybody don't want to honor their mother and father, they want to keep on being Christians, they got Christian black codes of 1724 to govern their families. And it's documented. They don't want to be themselves, there's a price. That's why they can't even vote with them names that don't belong to them until the CEO, every second or third CEO got a sign for them to vote with them names that don't belong to them, since they dishonored their mothers and fathers. Therefore, the right doesn't reside with them. Therefore, when you go before them courts, them tribunals, you're already on the auction block. There's a charge. Unless you're aware, and you say, oh, excuse me, there was an, pardon me, there's an assumption that I was Negro, black, and colored. Christian property, I just want to make you know, I ain't. Then you state your status for the record, invoke the Constitution. What I need is your oath and bond. And also the bid bond that you created on this case. You might be on the stock market, bring it in. Director of what, drivers going left nose? Oh, have them come in and testify, because don't testify from that bench. Oh yeah, I know the rules, right? Because I'm a national. You're supposed to know the rules. Do you understand? Civilians are supposed to know the rules. Do you understand? However, I'm not dismissing that the gray area is there. The deal is, the due process is the enforcement of the Constitution, not some protocol set up by the barristers to block due process. If you study the Constitution and treaty, there it is. You only got 7 articles, 10 Bill of Rights. What you can't do is get these people to read them, but they'll read a novel. You understand? They'll tell you who the vampire is in Twilight. Yeah, he was checking her out. Percy is a wolf. So they went around the bushes, boy. They tell you all that stuff. They don't know the rules of the game. This is what we're trying to get responsible. That's the appeal that's made to us. But so that there's no mystery, this is why we're revealing the priesthood. The magi, the magistrate is a magi. They're all high priests. Stop, get out of the mystery. So even when they're dealing with you, it's in the background. And so when you, and that's us plural, are not aware of it, we have a tendency to think because they're sitting in different seats that their background knowledge is different. No, it's not. Given the same knowledge, they may be giving it with slightly different flavors from whatever club or order that they're given in. But I'm telling you, true religion is cosmogony, cosmology, study of the universe. Spirituality is the art of breathing to prepare you to receive that knowledge. And they go together. Not to be confused with each other. And government is based in its reflection in the aggregate form of the measurements of the heavens. And there's your rituals, right? So when people make circumambulation, they go around the Kaaba 7 times, they're doing the circle 7. But they're doing ritualistically what this is telling you scientifically. Do you understand? Does that make them righteous? No. Does it make them special? No, they ain't no more special than anybody else. But you couldn't tell them that. I need the eyes. I'm really seriously a Muslim now. And this, our concepts are wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Meanwhile, this guy over here, I'm Christian, because I was looking in the Bible, and I heard one speak with a voice of many waters. They start that stuff, and then you get ready to get in your pockets now. And he was standing among 7 golden candlesticks. and everybody goes, they start this, tears all over the place. People come with napkins, and you start hearing the jingles. And it works, it's BS. Buns and sausages, right? To free the people, we got to take the mystery out of it, tell you what it really is. You stop being little boys and girls, put away your childish things, and you grow up and get with the science and thus get with the program. Then you can face the magi, the magistrate, who's auctioning you, and start putting him in order. And it starts with what is known as a quo warranto. And that is his charter, warrant, delegation of authority order. They're synonyms. To do business, he must have an indemnity bond. Ask for it. And don't get him talking about, yeah, well, I got it, but it's left at home. But we ain't talking about right now. We're talking about you turning around the corner like, no, we're not. No. Point for point, Jack, don't even, you're getting in the subject matter. Now, what I really want to know, you keep talking stuff, can your bond support the claim that's getting remade on you while you keep on bridging my rights and violating your oath? Because now you're operating in your proper capacity. Off that bench too. Then things start changing. He still might act arrogant, but I guarantee you things will start changing when you start learning the rules of the game. Do you understand what I'm saying, brother? So the gray area is our lack of knowledge. That's the gray area. Do you understand? So when you have Amendment 4, 5, and 9, it already tells you what their limitations are. At what point, when they abridge them, do you not object? If there's a claim before the court and you talk about a jury, did they notify you when they was picking the jury? Answer the question. No, I'm just something. So, not a trial by jury, but jury trial. See anybody of your own national peers? Did anybody there have a constitution and treaty by which they're measuring the law and the process that was taking place there? Did the judge have a quo warranto to talk trash to you? Did you ask for it? Huh? There's the gray area. I just identified the gray area, see? So that give you something to think about and go home and do some homework.
I was holding up on silly because I ain't know about the...
See, because once you understand everybody's obligation, you know to send it. And the judge ain't supposed to be talking trash to you, it's the prosecutor. Therefore, the judge is only giving it to notify him what you sent to the prosecutor. That's all the reason he has it. But it's really the prosecutor you're going after. Because he's the one talking trash. So if you walk in and the judge start talking trash already, it's an auction block. Hey, wait, what's up? What? Wait a minute. Excuse me. For the record. You're prosecuting from the bench, then step down and swear in. And who's the judge? Because apparently you just disqualified yourself. Because you know you're practicing law from the bench, right? You know that, right? And you just talk about the DMV, or you speaking for another agency. Is the director of the Department of Motor Vehicles in this room? Why are you talking for him? Because the court can't make a charge and then move on that charge. Because apparently some injured party came in here and moved the court. How you going to be the mover, the prosecutor, and the judge? You see the point? This is why you study the Constitution, so you know the rules. And that goes for everybody, you see? That begins to put the house in order. You understand? And when you don't do that, they see that. You know, that's just like you sitting up there playing chess, and you just move the pieces any old kind of way and wonder like, hey, now you wait a minute. What the smell is going on? Well, you open up the doors. You know, it's like being in the middle of the woods. You know, or like you have a nice house, right? And you're in the middle of the safari. And so you want some air, so you open up the doors and you're all chilling out. 9 times out of 10, you're going to wake up and there's going to be deer in there, lions in there, you might be missing an arm. Well, it's the same thing when you walk before them. If you don't claim your rights, any rights you don't claim, they're like a beast. They're looking to bite. You understand? So when you keep limping, it ain't racism, it's that they didn't steal your birthright and you ain't protecting yourself. That's what it is. So step back, study, then get back in the ring. Starting with, defend yourself at all times. Stop trying to look cute. That's really what it means, honestly. Yourself first, then yourself. Shoot, go ahead.
Islam, I have a concern with the Trading with the Enemy Act in that all of them have to renew their license this month in order to continue to do business on the land.
Give her the mic for a minute. Come over here for a minute, because I want y'all, because this is going to do you good too. Now listen you all, because y'all need to know, update, current, what's going on politically. Because in a minute, we'll ask a few more questions, then we're going to close out because it's like 20 minutes to 11. And Dr. Nile, thank you for the food.
Thank you.
I'm opening my restaurant.
But she always hooks us up. You know, she comes off from work and then go back to work. After having been to work already at home, then she goes to work at the work in the community, then she comes from there and works some more. Always works, never done.
Never done.
All right, now listen you all. Good brother, just 1 second here. I want you to hear this.
Okay, cool.
This is very important because this is an update on current events. You need to know what's going on because a lot of this information we're giving you and that we've given you in the past has now a place for you to use it. Certain things were given to you in the past to prepare you for things that were to come. You would be better to understand it now. Meaning that you were given training wheels, knowing that you'd be thrown into the circle. Speak, sis.
My concern is that the Trading with the Enemy Act, in order for any corporation to do business on this land, they have to get a license directly from the president to do business on the land, and this is renewable every year. And September is the month that they have to renew this license to continue to do business on the land. And now that the motu proprio was done and the Pope has rescinded all immunity to any corporation who is doing business on the land, I have a concern about how imminent the breakdown is.
All right, this is what it is. We've been given ample time to fix this thing. Noble Drawley told the Moors since 1912, and officially since 1913. If the above statements are not carried out by my people and the citizens, the worst is yet to come.
Oh my stars.
Now, however the people took it or didn't take it, I'm not even going to debate it. They're facing the worst now. Deal. How does nature work? This is how nature works. She gives you warnings to allow you to adjust because she is merciful. If you're caught up in the mystery systems and you think some man, God sitting on some frame is really doing this thing and you're busy over here doing salami bologna to some guy, some image that you got, not knowing, symbolizing the laws of nature and nature's God, and then not knowing the laws, divine really, and you're caught up in the image, 9 times out of 10, when a storm comes, you're going to get smacked. Because just because you make up a lot of idol gods Divine law does not recognize it just because you believe that. You must be in harmony with that which actually is. Do you understand? Now, let's look at this. You got all these people jumping up and down, building up all these beautiful buildings, calling them churches, mosques, and synagogues, talking about they know gods, devils, and all in between, and they're blessed, and everything's fine, and they're saved, and everything. And their babies are dying younger and younger on the street, and they're lying to them, and families falling apart, and they tell them that everything's all right because I got Jesus and this. And everything's not all right. And their babies are not all right. And these Romans have been doing just anything they want to do to them. And they've been paying them too. Tithing, 10% Roman tax, and lying saying they're giving it to Jesus with their hypocritical selves and think they're going to continue to get away with it, and divine law is not going to punch them in their head. Well, they're getting ready to get punched in their head.
All right then.
Hold on.
Okay.
Delegation of authority order. They're going to keep doing business. They got this covered, right? They capitulated these people. They ain't been paying them because the money is gold and silver coin. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution says every state in the Union what? What must they do? They cannot do what?
Make a treaty.
Coin anything but gold or silver coin in the payment of debt. And they ain't paid these people for generations. They've been sharecropping their labor. And you got all these adults, I got a paycheck. No, they don't. They ain't been paid for generations. Most of them never even seen money. They don't even know what money is, but they saved. They don't know what jurisprudence is. They're very familiar with color of law, but they don't even know what that is. But that's what they get every day. They got all these deeds. They think they own houses. They're listed as tenants, but they're saved. Well, guess what? Everything is starting to crash down because it's all a lie. Now, not that they haven't been told. They thought this thing would go on without recompense.
Right.
Because they didn't believe Raleigh anyway. They just repeat it because it sounds good. You understand? Now let's look at this. The popes, regardless of what they tell the people, remember we talked to Arian heresy, right? They wear that crown. It's called a mitre. And a mitre is a square. And that's 90 degrees. And it's a fish head. And that is what? Excuse me. And what is Pisces? It's the Arian heresy that the church suppressed, while they themselves had the truth and hindered the little ones from coming in. Well, guess what? Counterclockwise. The constellation moved, but the chart goes clockwise. We're now in Aquarius. And the light has come. Beliefs are out the door. What people think, what they believe, what they've been holding on to, it doesn't even matter. It will collapse. So the priesthood are being unseated.
So mote it be.
Right? So it's Pisces, right? Right?
Yes.
and that's the mitre. So that's Pisces officiating. So we're leaving the age of Pisces and in the age of Aquarius. And the sun stands at high noon. Read Religious Controversy that Raleigh gave you in the literature. So when the sun stands at high noon, there are no shadows. Therefore, there shall be nothing that goes unturned. So even those who are part of the mystery will tell the truth. He said, I'm going to make that European tell you the truth.
Right.
Now you understand Snowden and all the rest of them?
Yes.
They couldn't hold it if they wanted. You know why? Because the refrigerator is not open. The hinges are off. So for those who thought they had this stuff covered, keep in mind the high priests are MAs. They already know it's coming. Yeah, they want to battle because they don't want to get off the throne. Well, guess what? When that Pope took his ring off, somebody took a mallet and smashed it because it's over. It's just that they have no respect for the Comforter because he's humble. He don't have some golden chandeliers and stuff, and he can't get me a job, a Job. And they done took everything from him. Now they worry about, there ain't no Jobs around.
Ain't gonna be
What
none.
we gonna do, master? Can't serve two masters. Point is, them high priests know this time was coming. Their job was to mislead these people so that when the light comes, that they wouldn't know day from night. Which is why we have to have these classes. To make that refinement so they can see, because they can't see crap. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're blinded by their belief systems. This is why the Europeans throwing out the UCCs and administrative processes and everything. Not that they don't have their valid position, because they absolutely do. They're stopgaps to keep you away from the birthright, which is the trump card. In other words, they're willing to give you a queen and a king, just as long as you don't grab that ace. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't want you to pay attention to the ace. But it doesn't mean that you ignore the king and the queen. You kind of understand where I'm coming from. So Drali brought our people the ace. They ain't been using them. Europeans see it's coming, they know the time is running out, so they start giving people jacks and queens and kings, and the people are distracted. Dang, this administrative process will fix everything. Oh man, this UCCs, this is what they're really working with, the popes of Rome.
Yeah.
And they are. Why? Because everything's for sale. Do you understand? Charges. How are we going to get out of this? And the Europeans who want the Republic back, because the middle class is being dissolved, they want to tell them on the Don. We're American nationals. No, they're not. They're Europeans. We're American sovereigns. No, they're not. The sovereign they overthrew. They talk about them in the Bible, the brother with the coat of many colors that they put in a hole. Well, now we know we ain't colored people. And everybody's upset. Because we're the heirs of the world's largest estate. We've been poor for generations, and we're the wealthiest people on the planet, but we don't understand it. Don't know how to get to it. All we needed to do was honor our mothers and fathers, but no, we didn't want to do that because we Christians. That, well, you serve JC, Julius Caesar. I thought that meant Jesus Christ. No, it didn't. Don't hold your breath. Your condition should have told you that by now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, the popes knows this stuff is over, so they're taking the high road. The secret treaty of Verona is the foundation of the War Powers Act and the Trading with the Enemies Act to enforce the democracy code system set in place by Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1933, backing up Woodrow Wilson, who sold the government to the popes of Rome and the representatives from England off the coast of Georgia, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Jekyll Island. What, they didn't think that this stuff would be uncovered? You fool people who don't know, but you can't fool the prophets because he has multiple eyes. Do you understand? That's why they set the things in place before it even take place, to save you from it if you only listen when listening. So now the Europeans, some of them, are doing what now? Getting them documents and them judicial notices and them proclamations and claiming property. Even Chinese are doing it, aren't they? And who's it for? Us. What are they doing? They're playing club member. What club, school of thought you from? Divided against themselves, playing games. But the world moves on. It doesn't wait for you. Meanwhile, the reality is, Rome don't see the writing on the wall. Why? Because that fell off on the floor a long time ago. He knew it was there. We still playing around with our belief systems and got caught with our shoes untied. And so what they're doing, they're taking the high road and they're pulling out, and this is what's going on here. Look at this, all. Write this down. That's all their club members. The United States Corporation is one of the Roman Curia. All the offices and everything, so when they're talking about the judicial officers, etc., those who hold in positions of trust, those who have corrupted the monetary systems, etc., they're talking about these judges who are not judges. They are administrators for the executive branch of government because they're waging war against the people under the secret treaty of Verona. You got a problem with that? We all do. Solution, nationalize. They want to be slow. Those who ain't in order, when this thing collapses, getting ready to get cooked. That's what the King Alpha plan is for. Rex 84 plan. They want to keep playing with this information plan. Well, on this sect, on that sect, I believe this. Well, ain't nobody arguing. Concentration camps. When they come knocking, you start that, well, I'm a light-skinned, orange-skinned black man of the Competence way of life. Cooker. Ebonically, I can make it mean what I want it to mean. Frying pan. They racist.
Microwave.
Now, I'm telling you the truth, though people think it's a joke. That's what Rex 84 and King Alfred actually is. Because they're going to reduce the population. And anybody that's not of a nation state has no protections whatsoever. If they're outside the human family, they're expendable. And they will be expended. Because time comes, you ain't going to have no papers to back up nothing. And if it's not here and here, it ain't coming out here.
Right.
And if it don't come out here, they're not having no long conversation with you. Now you understand what happened to them other people that claim to be somebody? They're not. When Hitler nationalized Germany, they heard about nationality, didn't they, after they started jumping in the water, didn't they? Everybody went to work, nobody came out at lunchtime, but then everybody smelled barbecue. They went to the Falkland Islands. Did they let them off them ships?
Nope.
They went to England. Did they let them off them ships?
Nope.
They went to Cuba. Did they let them off them ships?
Nope.
Then they started saying they want to tell them Negroes who they really are. And they started a war and created an artificial nation in 1948 called
Israel.
ISIS.
Rock.
Amen Ra. Elohim. Israel. And took your hex alpha and put it in ethereal colors. And they still lying. And Drawley came in 1912 to redeem these Yahudi who keep wanting to be somebody they're not. And you keep telling them over and over and over again, go back to the state of mind of your ancient mothers and fathers. Well, the game is concluded. That's what's really happening. And the priesthood know they're stepping off so that they can try to start begging, because they're getting ready to start begging. Oh, they're arrogant right now because they look like got all the power in the world. Well, you know how I said they're going to play to the back of the door. And just before they get pushed out the door, they're going to say, oh, really? We won't tell them? We're sorry. Let me take off the girl. Y'all ain't neighbors. Y'all couldn't be Christians. That's Constantine. It ain't Jesus. Oh, I ain't giving up my Jesusness. They get very good cook too. They just don't know it. So the information is given in humor. Because you need to put a grain of salt in it, because this thing is getting ready to get ugly.
It is.
So now all of these arrogant Europeans, can I have your court warrant? I want your bond and your warrant. We don't have it here. 90 days, and we're getting away with it. And I just did a UCC1 filing and everything, and I captured that straw. It's my straw, I don't care. I want to sell your stuff anyway. Oh, they just like, we're the beast. All right, beastie guy. Well, what you know, so like, you know how somebody get in a fight, you know how like we talking, right? And we all together, right? Yeah, man, girl, what I want, I'm taking that camera. And you say, oh man, Todd, you guys, hold him back. No, don't do that, man. Yeah, man, let me go. Let me go. And not only that, I'm taking your sneaks. Let me go, let me go. And you say, oh, all right, I'm letting you go, let me go. You just wait. I'll let you go, man, you ain't over there. And this is what's with them. Their chain's been yanked. They've been talking, you know how the dog keep pulling on the chain, all against the fence. Chain break. And the person he was fussing at got 2 shotguns, a pitchfork, and some grenades. Over there. Same thing with them. The game is up. The stuff is collapsing. This is why the other day, all of them got, what, the Palatano, what they are?
Yeah, Bernanke.
They resigned, Bernanke and all them resigning.
Yep.
You know why? Because they didn't be brought up on
War crimes.
War crimes. And you know what's going to be happening? With them middle class Europeans who ain't got no JOB, Susie's in $100,000 debt.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
And where they used to have the 2-car garage, maybe the 3-car garage.
Yeah.
They got to get them remodeled and put doors on them because that's their apartment. That's if they can hold on to it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the upper class Europeans, right, who've been pumping the UCCs and everything to distract the people, you know what they're doing? Denouncing their U.S. citizenship, trying to preserve whatever they got left in whatever country that will accept them. And already right now, there's law in Europe, no new American accounts. Because in October, it's going to crash some more.
Yes.
So it's going to be worse than the last one.
As far as like the great.
Because it really ain't a new crash, it's the one they've been holding off.
Yes, the floodgates.
And so the Pope of Rome is jumping ship, trying to look innocent.
Right.
Now, problem. As this stuff collapses, because you ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. I ain't got a couple of pieces of silver, but not enough to mean anything. And you ain't gonna spend it anyway, right? You ain't gonna spend it.
Nope.
You ain't gonna, well, man, you ain't got no notes. No, man. I was like, oh, I got something now. He said, well, go down the corner and get us a couple loaf of bread. I'm going out and get a loaf of bread. I'll be going, I can't give you this. You want to take some dollars? Because I ain't give you, because I know you ain't going to give me no change. So the deal of it is, everybody's talking about collecting gold and silver, right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you ain't nobody going to be spending it. And you will never generate enough fiat to buy enough gold and silver to satisfy the need. Therefore, the issue really before us is who controls the estate, the resources. And the only one can be the creditor, whether real or credit, is the heir to the estate. What's your nationality?
Moorish American.
European Moorish?
No.
They might have some Moorish blood, but they're going to have to admit that to even get the privileges that may be forwarded to them. So they're over 3,000 miles from home, and somebody better learn to start stroking. So let's look at this. We all have problems with the Trading with the Enemy Act. What they did, in order to steal some more, they set up their own trap. It's sort of like they keep digging holes for everybody, and then this happened.
Yeah, sinkhole.
No, they stepped in one of the holes they dug for everybody else. That's what happened. That's what's going on. They're not going to tell the truth just out and out because there'll be chaos in the street.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Meaning that you can hold the truth off long enough and fool the people long enough to do what you call some political acts that maintains a certain level of stability. When the axis of anything in engineering gets to a certain axis point, they can be a few degrees before and things seem stable, but just a few degrees beyond the axis point, and it falls hard and heavy, and you ain't catching it. Your best deal is to get out of the way. They are getting out of the way of collapse. Why? Because as these things are revealed, the people are going to see both the secret Treaty of Verona and all their Negro preachers were really working for the popes of Rome, so they're going to be running. Find out there was no Jesus because J didn't come into the language of the 1400s. It's a password. His name was Yahshua, and even that must be qualified. And they actually was worshipping Serapis. And that must be qualified. They're going to find out that they had been teaching them the truth about the Bible, but they thought they knew the book, and find out that he had other information and an oath to Rome not to reveal the secrets. They're not going to be happy. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see all these fancy malls, one at a time, closing down.
Yes, yes,
2 or 3 stores in them.
yes.
You're going to see churches boarded up. You're going to see schools overnight shut down.
Already happened.
You're going to see people graduating, going home, not to some job. Then you're going to see middle-class Europeans getting their rods and their staffs, going to try to find somebody to comfort them. And it's going to be Wall Street and other people. And they're already ready. That's why they ordered over thousands and thousands of rounds of hollow point bullets. Now, what did the Social Security Office have to do with ordering 174,000 rounds of hollow point bullets, which are unlawful? What Social Security Office got to do with hollow point bullets? Why did they order hollow point bullets? Because they know that middle class Europeans can't do oodles and noodles like us. Something happens chemically. They get strange real quick. People walk in their house. Right? They killed everybody. They got the goldfish hanging on thread, fancy thread that. And the rest of the goldfish that's still in the tank, they drown them in their own water. That's Europeans. I'm serious. They do strange stuff when they can't have filet mignon. And they push them plastic cards in the machines, and the machines go. They're not having it. We can deal with that, you know. Oh, wow, man. Y'all got some noodles and noodles? You got some sardines? Let's hook this up. Some onions with, oh, man, it's tight. They'll make a couple of saltines there. Be down with it. They be going. Then they get up from the little table, shoot everybody at the table. They want to get their guns. They need all them guns. Now, see, so while we're being pressed under the priesthood, but while they're pressing us to the corner, to the end, and it looks like it's over,
Okay, where are you, or where are you?
the arm breaks.
Look at this. How can we get?
You know how you say, Dr. Backo, yeah, we pushing them trees down that he wouldn't cut down, that we told you to push down.
Okay,
Oh, man, please stop. Yeah. Break.
he has a.
Now you got white
collar,
elephant.
like a reddish color.
You understand? So they got these war machines
And he's
that's
dragging
going to
Jack.
become a white elephant. Why do you think they're pulling them into Syria? It's going to break the camel's back. You let them step in there like dummies. If they're smart, they'll stop while they're ahead, but they can't
Nope,
because it's the pattern.
That's right.
And it's over. So it's like this. This is really what's going to happen, and it's really true.
Russia said they were.
There will be bloodshed
How can I get?
up to a horse's bridle, and after that, there will be the peace. But first, there must be the blood.
I'm right on the
We've been trying to avoid it. It is unavoidable. Not because we weren't trying, because Rome wouldn't listen.
As soon as I'm out of here, I will call.
You understand? They had the power and think that there's nothing that can beat them because they have taken the seat of God, claiming to be God. Look at the book of Thessalonians 1 and 2. If you don't believe me, they say they know the Jesus. He says, yet when I was with you, didn't I tell you these things? That they would put themselves on the throne of God, claiming to be God.
Thank you so much. I'll call you back. Thank you.
Translation, y'all falling for this dumb stuff and sitting around talking about gods. You don't even know who God is and God is not. Right in the same book, they say they understand, which they do not understand. And we're paying the price for it now. Sis, we can roll, so the question.
Okay. I had a question about the forums. I think you kind of answered it because I was going to say that since they are ignoring the forums in cases, do we enter it into evidence?
No, listen, let's make this simple. And this goes back to us being organized and also order of Great Seal and being structured. And unfortunately, we've had to do things individually because of those who in positions were not carrying out what they do. So like Sister Nisa and Brother Navi, where they may be battling by themselves in certain issues. I may be, you may be, but the principles are the same. When actually there's Great Seal order for that, but because we've been logistically imbalanced, you understand? They already know this stuff was coming. Deal. You must understand, and we must understand, for anyone to do business, they must have a warrant / charter / DOAO, which can be looked at as relative. You would just say a delegation of authority order. A delegation of authority order in government is a warrant, charter, combined with a bond, which is referred to as an indemnity bond. For any of them to do business, any so-called public servant, judges, policemen, these corporate entities, president, and all these, Anybody got an oath and a bond. Do you understand? And with that charter comes the oath and the bond. Now, if you don't know to ask for them, they certainly ain't going to tell you. Are we clear?
That's clear.
Because they know that they've been operating under the War Powers Act, 1933, under the demo system, where they institutionalized servitude while making people think they were dealing with legitimate government. They pretty much drained the people's resources. Now they're ready to throw away the carcass. But the people ain't dead yet. Not only that, they got a new wind. They got this new breath, this new awakenness. They was laying down to die, and then something sparked them, and they coming back alive, and now they're throwing out the word because many of them are seeking to become the logos. Not the one, but the many are the body of Christ, which is the fire in the head. And they're speaking up, and they're putting it in written form. And it takes a life of its own. It is a countermeasure to all who claim to be the FOFR, or the trustees. Now they have to prove themselves, and they're still acting arrogant. They can't do that because it collapses everything. So now the Don, looking that this stuff was totally out of order, and any day now, people may be coming to the houses of boredness. And the preacher stood up there, oh, the Jesusness of the God of glory. And going, yes, and standing nicely while they're, oh, I just am impressed with that sermon. With a sword right in their heart. Or, oh, yes, the tithing. Right here. That's for my babies that you've been raping and getting away with it and never got punished. And the Don was protecting y'all. Oh, that's for my grandmom's house, because my daughter committed suicide because they didn't have a place to live, and we discovered that all this finance we were giving to the church should have never gone to you. But I thought I was giving it to Jesus. Now I'm taking it back and moving you out the way.
Can I add something?
Yes, go ahead.
To that, in reference to that, if I may. Sister, you're the law.
Yes, sir.
And so, when you, the question like you asked about when you put that core warrant and they ignore it, I think Taj just explained to you why they're ignoring it. But the problem, the situation we have to clear is that they're not the authority. You understand? So now people will say, well, they'll come after you with, you know, like that, right? But that's the spirit of you knowing that you're the law, and whatever you put in written form is the word and is the spell. And then especially if you mobilize us to put it down, so mote it be. So after you write it, you got to so mote it be and move on. Because the spirit will then protect you, right? Because you just put the word down. And you got to not believe it. You got to know it. You're the law and you just laid it down. You dismiss it. You make it what it is going to be. And you walk away with it like you got it. Because you do.
Or tell them like you know.
All right. Yes.
And don't get and keep this in mind, you all. If you don't know it, you're not going to say it.
Because man must be what he knows. See, that's the problem we have now. A lot of people are proclaiming nationality by the written, but they never declared it. Because declaring it means, son, making it clear to yourself. So once you make it clear to yourself, then you're able to start the process of being who it is you say you are. Then if you're being who it is you say you are, then you have to be the study of who yourself and the history as being discussed here all night, then you know that. So then if you know that, then the way Prophet Ali helped to uplift us here was to teach us to be ourselves, which means lawfully and propria persona. So now, once you know, then what you gonna do? Be what you know. All right.
You know it's a good lesson? Anyway, we want to close out. Hold that for a minute. Tarik Bey, y'all. one of the hard lessons that Prince learned in contract law, as well as some truths of religion, when he discovered that them Europeans, in the tradition that has always been, have been, you know, when it goes back to Billie Holiday and others, who they've always robbed, they was robbing the ones now too, who thought they was doing better. And when he contested and started that, God don't like ugly stuff and everything like that, you know, when he saw how dirty these people was, and them Europeans says, prove your God, because we got the contract. And he began to do a little bit of study and find out that God didn't mean what he thought it mean. Although he's Jehovah's Witness. He learned tetragrammaton, although there's a front, there's another side.
But
You
his album
understand?
came out after
And
that.
this is the deal. That's, yeah,
But
and
that-
he
what's the
couldn't
name of that
even use,
record?
couldn't
He said,
even
"You've been
use his
tripping
own name.
He said, you've been tripping since you've been born. He was talking about the European. What was the name of that?
I forget, but yes, I know what you're talking about, but his whole angle of writing changed.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah, it did.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Now, the deal of it is that he learned the truth, although still he signifies in his music, but he learned that God's a verb transitive. And that concept is wrong. See, so these people always talking about, yeah, God, you can't do this to me because God's gonna get you. The reason they ain't scared, yes, the reason they're not scared because they made God up.
Yes. Check.
Oh, that's a good.
No, remember, keep this in mind. God is a German word. It's a Middle English word, derived from Old High German. And it means to call upon, to invoke, to pour out. Get American Heritage Dictionary, go back into the appendix to give, and it'll give you its etymology. And so the priesthood know that God is a verb transitive. The believers thought it was the name of Supreme Being. The priesthood robbed them right in their faces, and it's being uncovered. Now, so the Dons know the game is up, so they're trying to take the high road ahead of time, because they know these people's getting ready to storm the palace with pitchforks. And they're it. You get the point? So this is the point.
We gotta close out.
To get to the point.
This is the point. This is the point.
Go ahead, read that.
This is the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. We're going to close with this.
Yes.
And covenant means agreement. So this is the agreement we have had, ought to continue to have forevermore.
And must secure.
And must secure. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thine own blood. That's it, right?
That's right.
That's
If thy brother
Oh, there's one more. What is
adversity or
my
sister,
favorite one? Two more stanzas. If thy brother is in adversity,
assist him. If thy
thy
sister is in trouble,
forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace and love. Is love ye one another. Like for real, stop faking it.
Give it up for brother Grand Sheik Taj Tarik Bey, Grand Sheik Tarik Bey, and brother Sheik Rich Brahim. Real quickly, we have to depart and everything because Dr. Naila has some other matters to take care of, so we're not going to be able to be long. So please, purchase publications, support our vendors. They travel from a great deal of distance, get the information, and for our next classes, you know, be able to qualify your questions based on solid foundational information. Last but not least, though, tomorrow morning we'll be hosting Dr. Umar Johnson right here in the city at Deltec College in Wilmington, Delaware, on right over 4th Street. So if those who are in attendance now want to attend that event tomorrow, just come on out and everything. It's a free event. We have food, we have refreshments.